The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, y'all, what's going on? Happy New Year, everybody. Hey, cousins, hey, nieces, hey, nephew, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Tell everybody that the Daryl Walter Show is on. I hope everybody's had a good New Year. I hope everybody's doing well. How's everybody doing out there? Hopefully y'all are starting off well. Anybody have any New Year's resolutions? Let me tell you, I have no resolutions. I made no resolutions for 2023. I am calmly walking into 2023. I don't want any problems. I'm not telling 2023 what to do. I'm not saying new me, new you, know nothing. I just don't want any problems. Because the last time I told a year what to do, we had COVID and snuffleupagus and all her other diseases and whatnot. So I'm just trying to come into the year real easy. And speaking of real easy, is it me or has the year just started off weird? First of all, we haven't talked in weeks, so we are going to go over everything that's happened in between times. Yes, welcome. Because it's just been a crazy year already. A lot of people dying already. Rest in peace, Barbara Walters. You know, we have a lot to get into. So let's just get straight into it. Hopefully, as you're coming in, you just click like, share it with somebody, and tell everybody about it. Now, let's go over to what went viral because we have a lot to cover. First of all, Stephen Twitch Boss. RIP. That hurt my heart. Can I tell you what hurt my heart? So last month we weren't talking. We were on break. Stephen Twitch committed suicide. He was actually laid to rest January 4th. Now, a lot of people have said it was a conspiracy. They found it hard to believe. They think that there was foul play involved. Listen, there was no foul play involved. The man left his car at the house. He went to a motel and with a gun, he took his own life. And I bring him up because one, I've been very vocal and I've been very public about going to therapy, about dealing with depression. And I think a lot of times we don't take the time to recognize what strong people are going through. Could this have been prevented? I don't know. But what I do know is, let this be an example to those of you out there who are holding on or maybe struggling. Listen, seek help because no one saw this coming and it completely wrecked us. You know, RIP to Twitch and condolences to his wife. But I just want to park right here and just say I don't think it was a conspiracy. And I think a lot of times people find it hard to believe that just because you look happy, just because things are going well, doesn't mean that everything is going well. So please Like Kwame said, seek help. You are loved and you are valued. You know what? Sometimes people don't realize that they are loved. Or when you're going through that moment, that crisis right there, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And speaking of RIP, her is not up there, but I don't know if y'all remember Diamond and Silk. I'm gonna tell you about them. Diamond and Silk was sisters. Actually, their real name was uh, uh, let me see, Anithia and Hernithia. But they were the two black ladies that just loved Trump like no other. They were like, "Ooh, Trump, we love you. Trump, 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 Trump." Anyways, the taller one, because I know y'all don't know the difference between the two. The taller one, Diamond passed away. Now, I'm going to say allegedly. And for all you political pundits, this is not about right or left. So don't fight me, fight your mama. Allegedly, allegedly, she was hospitalized for COVID in November, end of November, December. Now, this is interesting because along with being Trump supporters, they were also anti vaccine and they were actually fired from the Fox network because they were spreading misinformation, which is interesting because the other people didn't get fired who were sharing misinformation on the show, but that's another conversation. Anyways, it is alleged that it could possibly be because of COVID. So that's an interesting thing. But I'm going to leave that alone. Rest in peace to Diamond and Barbara Walters. Now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you about my Christmas vacation. It was almost good. It was almost good. I called myself trying to see Lunel at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club. Now leave him up here. That's Jimmy Kimmel. He's the owner of a comedy club. Now, Lunel, one of my favorite comedians. FYI, if anybody's interested in getting me a gift, I love Lunel. She's one of my favorite comedians. So, Christmas, I went to see her, and she had to cancel her show because all the flights were canceled. Southwest is acting real ghetto right now. That's a whole nother conversation, too. So, when I went there with a friend of mine, they offered us, I love Lunel too, they offered us, we could stay and hear the comedian or we could get our money back. So I said, well, we're already here. We're already out. I don't mind. So we go in and see, the comedy. Let me just say, first of all, the headliner that replaced Lunel, it wasn't even that he was funny. I don't think he was prepared. Okay. And that's no shade to the comedian, whoever he was, but he knew he wasn't funny, but he was probably nervous too. What was troublesome, and if you go to my TikTok, I talked about it, was the bad service. And it wasn't even bad service. It was the fact that it seemed as though the servers were going to everybody else except us. She was really friendly at the front, and I let it go. The following Sunday, Lunel's back. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give it another try. So New Year's, I go to the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club, right here, this man, and I go to see Lunel. Again, the service is bad. Now, one thing about me, I'm not a fan of bad service or what I notice as I'm being ignored. Okay, and it was quite obvious because the two ladies next to me were ignored. Now, follow this story because it gets really good. Okay, so I go downstairs the first time and I'm complaining to the bartender. I said, the service is really bad and I'm really disappointed because I've been to the comedy club a few times before, right? So and there's a lady sitting at the bar. So I go back down again to the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club. Okay. And I'm like, the service is so bad. Like, the servers won't acknowledge us. I keep having to come downstairs to get, food, water, whatever. And I said, you know what? Where's the manager? I'd like to speak to the manager. Y'all ain't going to believe what happened next. The lady at the bar was the manager. Okay. So I just turned around and I said, so you mean to tell me you've been listening to me complain this whole time and you didn't do anything? And she said, well, I was waiting, and if you give me a chance. Now, this is where she messed up. She said, sweetie, if you give me another chance. I said, don't call me sweetie. Now, maybe other people would have said, oh, that was a term of endearment. Is that what y'all say? That she was being nice, she was being sweet. Mm-mm. No, she had already lost. So I politely let her have it with the love of God. Okay. I let her have it. And I said, you know what? I'm leaving. I left because we had exchanged words and now I'm upset. So I go ahead and say, you know what? I'm gonna leave this club. I got my stuff and I left. I'm talking to my friend, and she said, go back and get her name and get a business card. So, y'all, I went back to get a business card, okay? When I go back to the comedy club, they 86 me from the comedy club. This it gets better, y'all. They 86 me from the comedy club. They said I was belligerent. And I was like, really? I'm belligerent, but I'm having a conversation with you. I said, you know what? No worries. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. So I'm walking out. Y'all, 6 security guards are following me outside. I am not kidding you. 6 security guards are following me, and one of them proceeds to pull out his handcuffs. The RoboCop thought he was gonna handcuff me. I'm just gonna let that sink in. He wasn't a police officer. The security guard thought he was gonna handcuff me. Mm-mm. Now, not unless you want to be a part of a big lawsuit. So I turned to the man. I said, "Stop." They all 6 of them stopped. I said, I'm leaving. I'm headed. The handcuffs. So I walked out. I got in my car and I left. Don't go to this club. This, I had to really calm down. There's other comedy clubs, there's other places to go, and I am convinced that no, they haven't reached out to me. No, Jimmy's people ain't reached out to me. None of them have reached out to me. And you know what? At this point, I don't care. This comedy club has a history of bad service. Yes, yes, and treating better than okay. So Jimmy Kimmel, God bless you, sir. And I really liked you. And I'm not gonna blame it all on you because I know you chilling at home. But the comedy club, don't go there. But that was my experience over the Christmas break. Speaking of experiences, Tory Lanez found guilty, huh? Wayne talked about that. And you know what? You know what? That's a handsome, ugly man. That is a handsome, ugly man. Tory Lanez was found guilty. And y'all, I wish I had seen his mugshot earlier. Baby, his mugshot looks like a preschool class photo. Just a smiling, just a happy. But anyways, Tory Lanez was found guilty on all charges while we were on break. And he's going to jail for a very, very, very long time. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's pull up the picture with Daystar and all the other people involved, Megan and all of them. Here's the thing about it. I want to ask y'all chime in. Do you think Megan was vindicated because of this guilty verdict? And do you think that she's a winner in all of this? I'm gonna tell you what I think. There's no winners in this at all. Okay. If we really talk about this whole situation, I'm going to tell y'all what really happened. Okay. According to the man that testified that witnessed it, they had all pretty much got drunk. And they went to Kylie's house and acted such a plumb fool. Kylie kicked him out. That tall man at the bottom, that's EJ, that's her hairstylist. He said they left the first time because Megan's wig was slipping because they were all so drunk. Okay. They went back the second time. Megan lied. She said she acted like she hadn't slept with Tori. All this time she'd been sleeping with him behind Kelsey's back. Kelsey, that's the girl on the other side. Okay. That's the bodyguard at the bottom that went missing. Here's the thing with all of this. Do I think Tori should go to jail? Yes. not just because of this situation, but Tori has a history of being violent. Oh, and I'm not just talking about the sucker punch with August Alsina. He's been difficult since he was a child. You know, he's Canadian, right? And then he moved to New York, and his daddy's some crazy preacher. His real name is Daystar Shemuel Shua. That should tell you something. But he was sent to his grandmother's because his parents couldn't deal with him. He's gotten in trouble when he was a teenager, and he's gotten in trouble as an adult. He has always been difficult. And I'm gonna be honest, I'll just say it, this is my opinion, allegedly, he is a danger to society. If it wasn't Megan, it was gonna be someone else. But the thing with this situation, they were all drunk. They were all acting crazy, but at the end of the day, Tori shouldn't have had that gun. Then the phone calls were released. I don't know if y'all heard the phone calls. The phone calls, he admitted everything. It was an accident. They were all fighting, they were all angry, and they all embarrassed themselves. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no winners in this. You know, people apologizing to Meg the Stallion, and I get that part. You know, was she shot? Yes. Was it intentional? I don't think so. I think this is the case of ninjas being ninjas and acting crazy. Huh? Huh? It's too much to cover. Speaking of guns, pull that lady up. Baby, that's Abigail. That's Abigail, 25-year-old Abigail Zor. I hope I'm Zwire. How you say the name? Anyways, that's Abigail. She's a teacher, 25. Don't look 25. That's a rough 25. But nonetheless, that's not important. She's 25. One of her students came to class 6 years old, brought a gun to school, and shot her. I'm just going to drop that right there, first of all. He brought a gun to school and he shot her. Not on accident, on purpose. Now, the question is people are trying to figure out, should this little boy be tried as an adult? I'm just going to say this, the parents need to be tried. The parents need to be charged with aggravated assault. The parents need to be charged with attempted murder. The parents need to be charged with negligence. Because why is your child going into your stuff and bringing the gun? But furthermore, what is this epidemic with kids and guns? Well, why are children getting a gun and carrying it to school? Can somebody help me with that? And somebody type in, do you think he should be tried as an adult? I think the parents need to be tried. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he should be tried as an adult, but he definitely needs to do time. And he probably needs therapy and a psychologist and some sort of medication. Something, because that don't make no sense. And speaking of more guns, pull up Denisha, the black lady. Baby, if I've been to the upside of the mountain, was a person, that's Denisha Holiday. And we just gonna call her Nisha. Okay. Denisha works at the Family Dollar. She called in sick. Her boss said, listen, you've been calling in sick too much. I'm going to go ahead and remove you from the schedule. Okay, because I'm tired of you calling in and you messing it up for other people, and I can't do the schedule. So I'm going to just go ahead on and remove you. I don't think that's a bad thing. Now, what do you think Nisha did? What do you think Nisha did? She didn't say okay. She didn't quit her job. Baby, she got her gun, drove down to the Family Dollar, and pulled the gun out on the employer. Because she called in too many times sick. Now, I feel like this. With all this COVID and all this respiratory stuff and everything going on, her sickness was probably justifiable. It's a lot going on in this world, and maybe she needed a mental health day. But again, what is the fascination with the gun? Couldn't she just go up there and cuss her out? Yeah. Couldn't she have just went up there and said, you know what, I'm tired of this, I quit? She threatened her. She was arrested. She was arrested with for aggravated assault. That's her mugshot there. And let's just say she won't be getting employee of the month anytime soon. That was in Memphis, by the way. I don't know what's in the water in Memphis. Y'all help me out if anybody knows her. Ridiculous. Very ridiculous. Do we need to go to commercial? Let's go to commercial and come back. And when we come back, we'll talk about Prince Harry and Meghan. I'll see y'all in a few. Welcome back, y'all, to the Daryl Walter Show. We have so much to cover. We are doing nothing but shenanigans because 2022 and 2023 has been nothing but shenanigans and craziness going on. Wouldn't y'all agree? Listen, let's talk about Prince Harry and Meghan. Have y'all seen the interview? Have you watched the documentary? I'm halfway through the documentary. I am invested in their life. So many people are basically complaining that they're airing too much of their dirty laundry, that Harry's talking too much. Some people are saying that them talking about their family is making it worse. Some of the things they talked about, Meghan and Harry have been very vocal about the racism that's taken place in regards to their baby Archie, little cute baby. People in the family in the palace commenting about his color. And a lot of the people from the outside have said, she should have known what she was getting into. And also, Harry talked about a physical fight that he got into with his brother, William. Now, first, let me say this, and I mean this with all due respect. Harry's the better looking one out of the boys. Let's just call it for what it is. Okay. He took after his mama. What I also think about this situation, um, I think what Harry is doing is something new. I think a lot of people and families, a lot of old school people feel like, family drama should be kept inside. You shouldn't air your dirty laundry. But I heard someone say, you're as sick as your secrets. And so all Harry is doing is telling his truth and his story. And I think for so long, he was being held accountable for the family's actions, right? A lot of people have problems with Harry because They didn't take away their titles. What are they? The Duchess or one of something like that, right? Since they left the royal family. But here's the thing: even with that, even if they remove themselves from the royal family, even if they're no longer connected to them, they are still forever connected to them. Like they won't ever be seen as regular people, right? So I think number one, they're making their money. But I think this is about more than money. This is about righting a wrong that has taken place for so long. Let's be honest. They unalived Diana. Y'all say what you want to, but they unalived that. They did that lady wrong, and Harry remembers it. That lady Camilla swooped up in there and was sleeping with that lady's husband behind their back. Harry called her evil, and he's telling the truth. He's just telling the truth. What do y'all think? Do y'all agree with Harry being truthful? Do you think it's out of line? Do you think it's distasteful? I honestly think it's brilliant. And I say kudos to him because it takes a level of bravery and a level of transparency and vulnerability to share his truth. Honestly, I don't think the family's really that close. And Harry's just telling what we all thought for many, many years. There's a lot of drama in there. And people will say, well, Daryl, there's drama in every family. Listen, I have a documentary. We'll talk about this at the end of the show, but I have a documentary. Part one came out today. And yeah, I think that the Kwame says, I think that the media had the time to tell their story. It's only fair for Harry and Meg to tell their side. It's not only fair, but I think it's needed. I think it's needed. For so long, we've heard these stories, right? Behind the palace. We've heard, let's talk about the queen. She knows she wasn't right. She knows she stole all them people's jewels and stole all that land from all those people. She knew what she did. And the apple don't fall from the tree. Charles ain't no better. And he ain't cute. I don't know if that matters or not, but he's not. Speaking of not cute. Oh, oh, I'm getting trolled. I'm famous. Oh, wow. Wow, Kwame, we got trolled. That's a new one. I feel like we're leveling up. Speaking of ugly and speaking of trolls, Bishop Lamont Whitehead. I just tickled myself. Oh, that was funny. Ooh, Lord, don't he look like one of those what's the little animal called where you throw water on it and it gets all ugly and stuff and it turns into something? What's that thing called? A wuzzle, a muzzle? Anyways, Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Now, for those of you who don't remember, or maybe you don't know, this is the man who allegedly will say gremlin. He looks like a gremlin. Don't he look like a gremlin a little bit? Like a cute gremlin. Gucci down gremlin. Anyways, he faked a robbery, allegedly. We'll say allegedly because, she gets sensitive and in her feelings, people talk about her. But he faked a robbery at his church. Side note, the church is about 10 feet wide and 5 feet big with gloss lips. With gloss lips, yes. They do look soft. You know what? So in his church, which is above a Mexican restaurant, he faked his robbery. So y'all know he was arrested last month. He was arrested. He was charged with scamming. He scammed the old lady. He scammed the old lady out of $90,000. Extortion. Tried to bribe a politician for $500,000. Anyways, he was released on a $500,000 bond where he got the money. We all know, but we won't say. He come on now. Anyways, he says he's innocent. He says he is innocent. According to him, he said just because you went to jail doesn't mean you're innocent. Now, I don't normally encourage people to drink Kool-Aid, but in this instance, drink the Kool-Aid. That man is going to jail, okay? And he better get a lot of lip gloss for all his lips, okay? Because he's going for well over 20 years. Here's the thing about it. It's serious when the judge won't let you leave where you live and takes your passport. If he beats this one, which he's not, I don't think he is. If he beats this one, I might think he have a relationship with God. I might think he has a relationship with God. But here's the thing. And let me tell you my true opinion. I promised I wouldn't say his name, but I said it's whatever. He's a scammer. He's one of those people that will let's see here, take your money. He's one of those people who say just sign right here and you done signed your whole life away. You know. It's alleged the wife, I don't know about the wife. I don't know if the wife left. I will research it and let you know on TikTok. But I wouldn't be surprised if she left. It would make sense. And I hope she got a good divorce lawyer. Because baby, whatever he owes, she's gonna owe too. Because she's been enjoying the fruits of his quote unquote labor. And speaking of old men, can y'all help me out? Can we just talk about this for a little bit? I titled this part Old Men Having Babies. And I know Nick Cannon ain't old, but let's talk about this. Because at first I was like, oh, it's whatever. Shamar Moore just announced he's expecting the baby. Okay. Shamar Moore is 52 years old. Baby girl. Diddy. P. Diddy. Sean. Which, side note, I think he changes his name to avoid being sued. Just had a baby. Look, real cute baby. But Sean is 53. Nick Cannon. I done lost count with Nick Cannon. At first it was cute. Now it just, if it were, oh, look, we talk about Kiki Wise so bad, and she has a vagina from the Lord, because to push out all them babies and still be good like that, it is a miracle. Here's my question. Are these men too old to be having children? And are they doing a disservice to the kids that they are having? Now, allegedly, Mariah Carey is filing for sole custody of the kids, Morocco and Monroe, because apparently Nick, he barely sees them. Now, with Nick Cannon, let's just walk through all of them. Nick Cannon, the first 4 or 5, I was like, oh, that's so nice. Clearly he has a little village going on and, having kids, and they're all going to be happy. Then 7, 8, I was like, well, okay, well, hold on now. Listen, that's a lot. Because, Nick has lupus. So in addition to all these jobs and everything, he got to take it easy because he could have a flare up. Then we got to 10, then we got to 11. I think now we on 12. We're on 12 or something like that. It's weird. It's just weird at this point. It's too much on him. It's too much on the kids. You know, I think for the women, it's a come up. They're set for life. But who's really winning in this situation? And then let's go to Diddy. Diddy just had a kid. Okay. In my head, I think Diddy still thinks he's 33. He still thinks he's 33 and he got all this money. But, sir, by the time your child is 20, you're going to be 73. And Shamar Moore, baby girl. Now you want to have a baby? It's just too much. It's just, to me, it's just way too much. You know, if it were a woman, granted, women and men are different, but if it were women, we'd be judging her, we'd be looking at her like she's crazy, you know, and these men are getting past it. I just feel like by the time your child is an adult, you're going to be in your 80s. And money doesn't replace the relationship. See, that's what I realized. Money, just because you have money, doesn't mean that you should. And let me park right there because I feel like that's just a message for a lot of people out there. Just because you can afford to do it, okay? And I don't know who needs to hear this, but just because they make it in your size. I'm just trying to help somebody, okay? Because somebody out there, 50 something, talk about you ready to settle down. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And Diddy's baby mama, she's real cute, real smart, very intelligent. And Nick's baby mamas all seem to be really nice. And I seen the picture of Shamar's baby mama. I don't know if that's a girlfriend or whatever, because well, you know. Anyways, you if you know, you know. But Shamar's beard, girlfriend, excuse me, not beard. I'm so sorry. Girlfriend, um, she's pretty too. But again, are they too old? Am I the only one? Am I tripping? That was a lot. And we didn't even get to cover, like, there's so much more to cover. Like, I don't, this world is crazy. Ever since the pandemic, people have been acting crazy. Anyways, let's end on a happy note, y'all. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about me. So, y'all know last December, I went to Atlanta. I had the opportunity to have a documentary called Freedom to Love. I'm a part of it. I'm episode 51. Um, the first episode of 6 was released today, and I'm going to debut a snippet right here. Let's play it. All right. That's okay. Technical difficulties. Well, hopefully it'll play. Hopefully it'll play. It's going to come back up. But basically, I did a documentary with Sophia Wellman. It is on YouTube on her channel. That's Sofia Wellman, Wellman. Y'all go ahead and check it out. So I am talking about everything about my experience in church, growing up Kojic and gay. So you all are going to get another side of me. It's very vulnerable. This first episode, I talk about the duality that exists in church, as far as being a church going man, and being gay and balancing those lifestyles. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really proud of it, and I hope you all check it out. Let's see if we can get the snippet. If we can, it's all good. Kwame, can we try it again or not? I don't think we can. That's okay. Listen, y'all check it out. Go to YouTube. I'm actually wearing the shirt. I don't know how high I can go. I'll go right there. That's the shirt that says love who the front you want to. Hey, hey Diggs. Hey, what's up, G? I don't know, but I'm good. Okay, y'all. That is it for the shenanigans. Let's see. Okay, we might get it.
Growing up in church, a lot of Black men live in duality. A lot of Black men are pastors and are gay, are ministers and still go to the club, are DL and married. I think duality might be a part of the culture.
Baby, y'all go over there and watch that whole documentary with that fine chocolate man in that nice blue sweater. He is sharing the tea. Hey, what's up, Diggs? What's going on, everybody? Listen, I want to thank y'all for tuning into the Daryl Walters Show, the first show of the new year of 2023. I am so excited for what's to come, all the great things. Y'all, I will see you next week at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, make sure to stay hydrated, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's name out of your mouth. I'll see y'all next week.
The